we are in the midst of the 9 days, and this is Erev Shabbos Chazoin. It is only natural that we should deal today with one of the sugyas on Tisha B'Av, and I'm fully aware that we are still in the midst of this terrible war in Eretz Yisrael, and our children and brothers are still putting their lives in jeopardy, their Mesiras Nefesh, for their brothers and sisters, Yoshvei Eretz HaKodesh. So the topic we will be discussing today is something regarding Tisha B'Av, and at the end of the year we will also say some more words about the Matzav in Eretz Yisrael. Simatov Kuf Nun Daled, the Seif Harishon, the first Seif in Simatov Kuf Nun Daled, we learned the halacha and the basic sources in Tanis Daf Lamed. In Tisha B'Av, there is a prohibition of learning Torah. Also, Likois, that he was an Ovel and he learned Torah. And the Klausinger rebbi was very aggravated by that story, and he took his pen and he erased it. He said, it cannot be. And the Gemara is Machayah telling us just like anyone else. And the first halacha that you cannot learn. After he calmed down, after a day or two, I asked him, but there is a Yerushalmi in Perek Gimel, halacha A, and Sechet Ma'it Koden. Ovel Alod, after Divrei Torah, could learn. He smiled, and he didn't respond. I think he accepted it. There's also a Bavli in two different sources, which might explain the meaning of the Tzofnes Taneach. Kedushin Amid Gimel Amid Aleph, Zvochem Kuf Beis Omid Beis. In Zvochem it's more amazing than in Kedushin. In Zvochem, Rava says a certain halacha in Kodshim, and he says, Dovaz HaGemirna, Merabeloza B'Rekshim and She'omer B'Beis HaKitzah. Rabbeloza B'Shimon was in the Beis HaKitzah. And he said the Beit Torah, and his Talmidim heard. It's prohibited on Tisha B'Av, but we are entitled to learn the Dvorim Haroyim to intensify the mourning and the feeling of Havei. I always say that our generation has a problem with the Vedas Yerushalayim. We are so far from the Beis HaMikdash, and in our upbringing and in our conceptual reality, we are very detached from Korbanos, from Beis HaMikdash. But I always say we should have no problem, please, Abel al Yerushalayim. Because there's a beautiful medrash, Eicha. Bochet et kabalayla v'dimotza alechya. Masa b'shchento shel Rabban Gamliel shoyse boicha balayla sarben teshcheres shemeis. Voyu Rabban Gamliel shemei koilo. Voyu boicha ima shenoshu risi yaina vadoi desem bochet et kabalayla v'dimotza alechya. What does it have to do with Chorban Beis HaMikdash? Personal tragedy. A young boy passed away. The young mother is crying bitterly in the middle of the night. Rabban Gamliel hears her pain, cries along with her. What does it have to do with Chorban Beis HaMikdash? Asked it. Because Beis HaMikdash is not only Karbonis. Beis HaMikdash is a Shos HaShchina, Shos HaShchina, Ha'ores Porim, Ha'ores Porim, is Midas HaRachamim. And Midas HaRachamim is life of peace, well-being, health, and happiness. Chorban Beis HaMikdash is not only Bitul HaTmidim, HaKarbonis, it is Siluk HaShchina. Siluk HaShchina is Estaponim. Estaponim is Midas HaDin, and Midas HaDin is life of pain, turmoil, suffering. So when Rabban Gamliel hears a young mother crying upon the demise of a young child, he sees in that a manifestation of Chorban Beis HaMikdash. That is Estaponim. That is Midas HaDin. That is part of Chorban Beis HaMikdash. It is a bitui, a manifestation of Chorban Beis HaMikdash. So he cries along with this young lady, feeling all her pain, feeling all her suffering. And that is Chorban Beis HaMikdash. And he cries on Chorban Beis HaMikdash. But the first thing we have to learn from this message is, when other people cry, we have to cry along. And we have to feel their pain. one big family. Kolono b'nei ish echad nachnu. We're all one. And when people cry, we should cry alone. So my brothers, in many houses in Israel, mothers are crying, wives are crying, young Yisraelim are crying. And in the past 3 weeks, this war has cost almost 60 lives. I think every other country in the world would be proud and would put the emphasis on what a success, what a great military success. Only 56 dead. That is a great number dealing with military tactics and strategy and statistics. But to us, every death is one too many. Every Jew is a olam molei, a world. Amakayim nefesh achas, kilu kiyem olam molei. Amavid nefesh achas, kilu ibid olam molei. Those families will never be the same. Those wounds never really entirely heal. For those fathers and mothers, wives and children, life will never be the same. And we have to feel their pain. They cry, we should cry alone. And that is the essence of the story of Shchento Yisrael Bas Gamliel. And it is a manifestation of Chol Beis HaMikdash. And when we cry alone, we need not only to cry, but think, what is it we could do to help? So I was this week in America and I gave various different shiurim. There was a big crowd gathered, like Irgun Shiurei Torah in Borough Park, because it was publicized that I will talk about the matzah in Eretz Yisrael, which I did. And I called upon all the Bnei Torah, all the Balabatim. If we really believe, as we should really believe, that every Perek in Tehillim, every Blat Gemara makes a difference, it is Mo'er Rachamei Shamayim, Oim Desor Agloilu Baruch Hu, Shalaim She'eske B'Torah, then we are part of the war effort. And we bear tremendous responsibility. So it is not only a privilege, and it is not only a good excuse for not going to the army, it is an obligation and a tremendous responsibility. We do believe that every person that learns Torah, that every person that davens, is Mo'er Rachamei Shamayim, especially in times of war. And we do make a difference. We need the base medics. Because Israel wins wars b'schus Torah, b'schus Tefillah. Im Hashem lo yishma ir shod shokad shleim. Well, it goes without saying, we need the best soldiers and the best officers and the best tactics and the best weaponry and the best tools. But ultimately, it is only the Siyata D'Shmaya Hashem Yishmorcha. And therefore, we need to feel the pain. We need to feel with all those hundreds and thousands of families whose life became torture, living in the war zone, hearing the sirens going off every few minutes, having bombs and rockets destroy their homes and cities and schools. And more than that, we need to feel the pain of those young soldiers who will never come home again. To their wives, to their children, and to their parents. We should feel their pain like Rabban Gamliel. Shehoyu Shemei HaKoilo, Shehoyu Boiche Imo. And that is all a manifestation of Chol Beis HaMikdash. these days of mourning, we should do more in Torah and in Tefillah and in Chesed and in Ahavas Reim, because of one of the great Zegulas B'Shas Mohammed, Ahavas Reim. Because I'll say, Ma ben Dora Shel David LeDora Shelacha. Dora Shelacha, they were showing that they used to go out and wage war and be victorious. Dora Shel David overlapped the Torah and they lost in battle. Turin Hoyu Beineihem. Bari Loshem, Sinaskhana. So especially in these challenging times, we should do more in Ahavas Reim and Ahavas Yisrael and Anach. So Kodesh Baruch Yerachem Aleinu. Let us hope that the war will draw to an end and Israel will be victorious. She'iten oiveinu nigofim lefoneinu. And all the soldiers should come safely home. ונתתי שלום בארץ ושמחת עולם ביושביה. שהקדוש ברוך יבנה לנו את בית מקדשנו וספרתנו. שישלח משיח צדקנו. כי עתו השם באש הצעת ובאש אתה עושה לבנייך וערו ביומנו. אמן.